Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. This is fishing vlog number 211. And I have had a very pleasant surprise. Actually, I'm really happy about this. This is now spawn attempt, I think, somewhere 5 or 6, I'm not sure. I had actually given up because they'd lay eggs, and then the next day or two I noticed that they were gone. So I moved them over into, as you're going to see here in a few moments, the 7-foot aquarium. And apparently, that's what did the trick. They laid a bunch of eggs. There's plenty of space for everybody, I guess, even though there's just 2 of them in here. Anyway, they have enough space so that they're not interfering with each other. They're doing the things that they normally should do. And each of these clips you're going to see are 1 day apart. And they're becoming more and more active. I am currently feeding them, obviously, on crushed flake food and decapsulated brine shrimp, and well, they're convict cichlids, so they should do really well as long as mom and dad don't get it in their heads that they want to eat them or anything. But they're usually very good parents. So like I said, I'm very happy about this from a certain perspective because, well, I didn't want to lose her line, even though it's a different dad. He is the wild type and she's OB. I think they're going to have some very interesting offspring, and they're obviously going to be, hopefully, I should say, not obviously, going to be, healthy and happy, and I'm going to end up with, from what it seems here, a very large number of them. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the fry, but like I said, I didn't want to lose the line. And as you can see, as the days progress here, they're going higher and higher into the tank. They're moving around more. Dad's doing his protective thing, and she's guarding her fry, picking up in their mouth every now and then, moving them back into the herd. And yeah, they're, like I said, they're doing really quite well. So this is the last clip. This is, I think, day 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is day 5. And as you can see, they're all over the place now. And I had just put in a bunch of decapsulated brine shrimp. And fortunately, they are more than 2 feet back through water, and you can't quite see it clear enough. I hope later on, as they move more towards the front, I'll give you some better view of that. So there you go. I'm very happy. And speaking of not even trying to breed fish at all, this is my tank of Johanni, and they just keep on having babies, and all they do is just keep the tank clean. Well, ignore the front part because I don't clean the front of the. This is another one of my 7-foot aquariums, and I never get around to cleaning it. The water splashes on it and everything else. I rarely show this aquarium because it's a holding aquarium for African cichlids. So these particular ones, of course, are quite happy to breed in here, which is nice. I don't have to do anything special for them. And there's where the convicts are at the moment. You can see Dad way over on the left there. So this is part of my experiment to see how decapsulated brine shrimp works for raising fry. These are platies, and I separated out a couple of moms, one here, one in the tank to the right, you're going to see in a second, and raised them on, crushed up flake food and decapsulated brine shrimp. As you can see, it works really quite well. My concern here is the same as with the concern for the convicts. I have a certain amount of space with my clients' tanks to place these guys, but I don't have enough room for, too many of them. So I have to keep an eye on breeding too many of those. And these, believe it or not, are those tiny fry that you saw as I transferred them from the bin into this tank 2 weeks ago. White clouds grow really fast. I'm very impressed with how fast they grow. I am currently in the process of breeding more of them to test out various other things, and yeah, this is interesting. There are certain fish I have a ton of space for. Guppies here are one of them, because you'll never notice that any of my tanks ever get really overcrowded with guppies, because as soon as they become big enough, out they go. And the same with white clouds. So far I'm hanging on to the zebra danios because, you're going to see a clip in a few minutes here. I really am enjoying them. They're very active, and I want to breed a lot more of them, and all I had initially was mom and dad. So I am going to just hang on to them for a little bit and see if I can get a serious number of them going. So we'll see. Every day in the morning, he builds a bubble nest. And every day I go and see if there's anything in there besides bubbles. And so far, no. In the morning I come down and it's gone. I'm not sure if he's just losing interest at night or none of them have spawned yet. They are still quite young. I mean, he's very colored up. And of course there are too many males in here still, so. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on this for a while. And if nothing happens with it in the next few weeks or so, I will pull out some of the males and see if I can breed them. The only other time I bred them is I only had a pair, and it was a much smaller aquarium, but anyway, that was forever ago, so my memory of it may not be exactly what I call accurate. So anyway, he's doing well. We'll see, and I'm going to keep an eye on that. Another change in the fish room. This aquarium was full of free-floating algae. It was unicellular. It was bright green. I've decided to remove all the bright green aquariums from my fish room. My reasoning is twofold. First off, I've given up on trying to raise Daphne because it requires too much attention, and I do an awful lot of work and all the stuff I need to do, and I just don't have the time for it. The other thing is, when a tank is so green, you can't really see if there's anything going wrong in the aquarium, and sometimes, in that particular case, I had some issues with the guppies, and anyway, I pulled them out and cleaned that out, and I'm going to make sure I get rid of all the green in my aquarium, so it is just personal preference more than anything else. This, believe it or not, is the first spawn of zebra danios, and you can see they are really active. They love being in this pond. The funny thing about these guys versus the white clouds is the white clouds always go and hide in the corner, and I'd have to check to see if they're okay. Not with these guys. They're all over the bloody place. They just swim everywhere. They don't seem to mind. As you see, I move stuff around. That's just one of the ferns I have, rabbit's foot. And yeah, it's like I said, it's doing really well. I'm very happy about it, and I want to breed more zebra danios. I am going to keep an eye in this corner back here because it's the calm section. I'm going to see if they'll actually just end up spawning in there and growing out, in which case I will increase the amount of live food for them, but I'm not really expecting too much. They are very active and probably predate on the whatever fry come in there quite easily. One change for here. That one on the right there is now also having a little bit of dehydrated rutabagas, turnip, and also hay. So I've decided to try a mix on that. The turnips are fine. They grow really well. They paramecium are thriving. And as you can see, this tank has been fed only on paramecia from having the dehydrated turnips. And the water stays clearer, which is nice. And I can see the fry better. And I think I probably will breed the zebra danios in this format for a little while because I don't get as many fry, but I don't need that many. So anyway, thanks for watching. Leave comments. Let me know what you think about all this, and I'll see you in the next video, and bye for now.